What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires, and this morning we have some brand new breaking details about Spider-Man No Way Home. We've learned officially via an exclusive report who Paula Newsome's character is. Now, after her initial appearance in the first teaser trailer, there were a ton of speculative theories about who her character could be, maybe even someone like MJ's mom. Well, we've learned officially, we'll issue a light spoiler warning for who her character is and how it pertains to some small plot details in Spider-Man No Way Home, as well as contextualize it with some industry insider reports from over a year ago on how this detail now may set up Tom Holland's Peter Parker for yet another trilogy in the future of the MCU. We're breaking down everything in this exclusive, as well as industry insider Daniel Richtman weighing in via Twitter last night with some brand new details and rumors he's hearing, one of which the budget on Spider-Man No Way Home, and it's absolutely insane. We're breaking it all down, but first, if you could, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. We're still giving away a PlayStation 5 now at 900,000 subscribers, as well as Disney Plus subscriptions while the shows are live, and tickets to go see Eternal starting next week. So if you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So as I mentioned in the prologue, after Paula Newsome showed up in the initial teaser trailer, there were a ton of people who thought she was maybe even playing MJ's mom. Well, as we've learned via One Take News in their exclusive this morning, under the headline Paula Newsome's role in Spider-Man No Way Home revealed exclusive, they go on to report, quote, One Take News has exclusively learned who Paula Newsome will be playing in the film. What comes next does contain very, very minor spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. They've gone ahead and issued the spoiler warning for me, so now's a chance to leave. If you want to go into the film completely blind, who are we kidding? You guys love this. Here we go. Paula Newsome will be playing an MIT administrator. In the film, Peter, MJ, and Ned all apply to MIT and were denied admission because of all the negative attention from Mysterio revealing Peter's identity in Spider-Man Far From Home. After the spell Doctor Strange attempted to make everyone forget about Peter's secret identity failed, Peter decided to try to find Newsome's character and change the minds of her and the other MIT staff. He finds her stuck in traffic on the way to the airport, and that's the shot that we see in the trailer. Now, for a second there, I'm going to go ahead and let it slide that they just admitted that the spell that Doctor Strange tried to cast failed. Does that mean that everyone remembers who Peter Parker is? He actually didn't get his identity erased, or did it just fail in the sense that the multiverse broke? It's interesting they put that detail in there, and while they called them very minor details, I would say that that sentence is even bigger than the reveal of the character itself, but maybe not so fast. So while we don't know what they meant by that, the fact that Peter, MJ, and Ned were all applying to MIT is a huge deal, because it was just over a year ago that industry insider Mikey Sutton, the original Spider-Man leakster, the guy who told us Tom Holland had been cast in Civil War weeks before it happened, he also leaked Black Panther as well, has a great track record. He said that the next trilogy for Tom Holland in the MCU was college years, and that in fact they would like to do 3 full trilogies, one in high school, one in college, one as Peter Parker as an adult. That's 9 full films, 3 solo trilogies for Tom Holland, and now here we are hearing that he's applying to MIT in the MCU. I don't know, sort of seems like to me it lines up perfectly with Mikey Sutton's report that that's the plan, to see a college trilogy for him next. Now, whether or not they meant that Doctor Strange's spell didn't work, either way, that scene is hilarious, because it means that she still knows he's Spider-Man, and in the middle of convincing her that they should let him in, has to battle Doc Ock on the bridge. Or it means she doesn't know who he is, rather she doesn't know that he's Spider-Man. He introduces himself as Peter Parker in an attempt to try to sway her to get in her good graces to get into MIT, and then ends up having to suit up as Spider-Man anyway when Doc Ock approaches. Either way, it's not working out well for Peter Parker, and that is just classic Spider-Man. Now, Daniel RPK, industry insider we report on often here at the channel, drops updates in 2 places, both on his Patreon, which is a great follow, and his Twitter. Last night he was on Twitter, and this is what he had to say. He's hearing about Spider-Man No Way Home and some new updates. The first of which, quote, I hear No Way Home has a bigger budget than any Spider-Man movie, even Spider-Man 3. And if you're wondering what that number is, well, Spider-Man 3's budget was $250 million by even today's standards, that is ridiculous, an absolutely insane number for one film. And that means that this film must have topped that. That's absolutely crazy. He also hears that No Way Home truly feels like a Spider-Man centric film. Well, man, I would hope so if there's 3 of them. And going on from there, he tweets out that No Way Home has more VFX shots and action scenes than any other Spider-Man film, and that he hears that No Way Home is the most shocking and emotional Spider-Man film. I think some of those, whether he's hearing them or not, I'm not discounting what he's hearing, probably were a dead giveaway, especially considering the director himself just recently said, John Watts, that this is basically Spider-Man Endgame. The hype would definitely be indicative of that for sure. But if the budget is $250 million, then going right in line with more VFX shots and action scenes than any other Spider-Man, that's where you would spend the budget. 100%. But real quick, final thought, let me touch on what John Watts said about this being basically Spider-Man Endgame, or what Tom Holland and some of the cast and crew said about if they get to revisit these characters. Guys, do not be confused. Tom Holland's Spider-Man will continue. Now, whether or not Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are here to stay to continue on in their franchises or in the Sony Spider-Verse in lieu of Tom Holland staying in the MCU, who knows how that's going to play out, but Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going nowhere. He is crossing over with Venom sooner than later, hopefully in the MCU, as it appears it's going to happen, and of course, maybe for a future trilogy. Spider-Man is Sony's most lucrative IP. And as the hype for this film has proven, maybe some of Marvel's most lucrative IP. Lucky for Sony, unlucky for Marvel Studios, it's still over at Sony. So as long as Spider-Man's around, they're going to continue making these movies, and Tom Holland doesn't have really a good reason to want to leave the character, especially when there's so much Spider-Man left to tell, and he's now one of the OGs in the MCU. So don't worry about him going anywhere, guys, regardless of what you hear. Let me know all your comments down below. What do you think is going on with Doctor Strange's spell? Did it truly fail? Do people still know who Spider-Man is? And what do you think about them going to MIT? If you remember, MIT relates to one other huge character in the MCU, Tony Stark, but of course it does. Let me know all your thoughts down below. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away a PlayStation 5 now at 900,000 subscribers, as well as Disney Plus subscriptions weekly when the shows are live. So when Hawkeye starts up at the end of November, we'll go back to that, as well as tickets to go see Eternals. We'll start the week of, we'll give them away every day. So if you want to be entered to win or for any of the future prizes, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of the videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you appreciated today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me over on Twitter and Instagram at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, wherever you listen to original music under the name Allfires. Thanks for checking out the channel, guys. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.